Hi there, welcome back to Gong Show Garage. Today in our video we're going to actually talk a little bit about the difference in weed eaters and what things to look out for and what not to. This little weed eater here was given to me by a friend of mine. The carburetor's shot on it, and it's probably because the ethanol methanol fuel that we're using in our regular gas nowadays. I happen to use Supreme from Chevron for all my equipment because of the fact that it does not contain any ethanol methanol, but here's the carb kit. So we might do a video on replacing the carb, but this is my personal weed eater here. It's a big Craftsman, and it's got lots of power. It's been pretty decent. The head design on it is kind of weird because you got to push the straps through. We might do a quick little vid on how to redo them because it is a little bit different, but we'll do a video on that. And then I got my other one, which we did a video on how to change the spool and re-spool it. And that's my little electric Black & Decker unit. But today we're going to talk about the Ego one. Now this one here is my fantasy one because this one has probably been about the best that I've seen in a long time. My neighbor bought it and he's really impressed with it. He says it runs about 45 minutes on a single charge, but the battery charged in about a half an hour in between, but he got so much stuff done it was unbelievable. And one of the major things that he really appreciated is the fact that it all didn't get wrapped around the head. And he said with his other older style one, this all gets plugged up. Mine does too sometimes. With all the grass, he has to stop and deal with it. With the Ego one, it runs on 56 volts, and that's actually 56 volts under full load. Whereas a lot of them, they rate their batteries at, say, 30 volts or 40 volts, but when you put them under load, that voltage drops. This one doesn't, so it's got a lot of power. I would have to say it's definitely got more power and more torque than my gas one. My gas one, the whole head shifts when you hit the throttle on it. And it looks like it's got a lot of torque, but the reason it's doing that is it's just a cheap, thin steel tube on it. So it's not as well built as the Echo. The Echo one's nice solid shaft on it, still lightweight, but when you crack the throttle, the head doesn't move at all. I'll try and get a video of that running. And here's the battery on it. This is the battery. I'm going to come over and put it onto the charger. Now because of the sun, you can just see it's just starting to flash green. And what we're going to do is we're going to charge it up. Then I'm going to do a little walk in the backyard and show you how tall all the grass is in my backyard. So this is the backyard. Now obviously you can tell I haven't been out here much this year. I just basically got the pool up so the kids can play in it. But I've got a two-tiered wall in the back here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how well that weed eater takes all this down. I know it'd be hours with my gas one, and I know it'd be a lifetime with my little electric one. So this is going to be the big test, and I'm going to see how long it actually runs for on that first charge. Here's the charging unit. You can see it's at full green. And the tester on the end, if you push it, turns green and lets you know it's ready to rock. Okay, now we just put the battery onto the end of the unit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try with one hand just to click it on. There it is. And I'm going to show you how difficult it is to start this. Push down on the safety, hit the trigger. There you go. It's that hard to start the Ego weed eater. In this segment, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Weedeater Lines. This one here, as you can see, has got a neat shape to it. It's got 3 cutting edges on it. I ran my neighbor's weed eater out of line because I was hitting my lawn chairs, I was hitting everything with it. So I'm going to show you how to refill the head on it. Now this one's 0.95. This one here is usually a 0.060, and this one here is about anywhere from a 9.5 to a 0.080. So you can get it all the way up to 1 point something, but the heavier the spool that you have, the slower the head spins. So sometimes people want to put heavy line on their weed eater, and sometimes it can hold them back. But this one recommends that we go with 0.95. If it was my weed eater, I would probably go up to the next size because it's got the power for it. But because it's not mine, I will put back in the exact same size that it takes. So what we're going to do is I'm going to see if I can do this. We've got 15 feet pre-measured out. And flip this over here. I'm going to show you on this particular model here. You can see it's got arrows showing which way to wind it. And it's got marks here. I should have cleaned these up so you can see them a little better. You got to line up that mark with that green mark. See how you spin it? Push down, turn. Well, I'm going to line it up so that it lines up. And what that'll do is it'll give me a clear shot from here right through this side. I'll pull the lines out evenly on both sides, and then I just twist by following the instructions on here. I'll just reload it, so I don't even have to take the head apart. But just for giggles, I will take the head apart and show you what's inside. You don't have to do this, by the way. That's your spool in there. So it's a center feed system. That's the hole that you're lining up with your mark. You feed the line straight through, and then when you're winding it, it'll automatically load the spool for you. So you don't need to do this, but I just thought I'd take it apart and show you that. It's back in. Okay, in this part of the video, what we're going to do is we're going to reload the line, and as you can see, there's a little hole right there for the line to go in. Just push it straight through. And as you can see, it comes clear through the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the two pieces of line together, and I'm just going to pull until they even out. And then just put a little tension on it. Oh, this is easy.
I've never seen anything like it, man.
Yeah, it's just incredible. There's actually a few other weed eaters that do the same concept. But I wanted to take it apart just to show people what it looks like.
Wow.
There we go. So if I was a little bit smart, I would have done it evenly, but as soon as I go to use it, it'll automatically pull it out even. So there you go. The weed eater is reloaded, and I'll fire it up. There you go. And to watch, I'll just bump it. Perfect length. As you can see, I've already done most of the backyard myself. Actually, my wife helped me with it too. It took us only about 10 minutes, believe it or not, with the weed eater. There's no lawn mowing done whatsoever. That's all just done with the weed eater. So after we put the line back in, Fury's just going to actually do the last little bit of weed eating with it just to show, and he gets a chance to try it out as well. And we'll show you how well it works. Go ahead. Yeah, it's a great unit. Thanks, Fury. Okay, so we did a whole schwack of weed eating with it. We finally got the battery to drain down, so we're going to hit the button. Shows red, lets us know that it needs to be recharged. I'll pop it back onto the charger. And the time right now is 5:01, so we're going to time and see how long it takes for this one to go green. You can hear the fan kicking in to charge it. You can now see it's flashing green to red. Lets you know it's charging. Green light flashing. And by the way, that is running off my solar system. So theoretically, I am weed eating my lawn with no power cost. Off my solar panels.